Today we're going to talk about 5 different types of digital missionaries your church or your ministry can have today. Hey heroes, I'm Tom Pounder and this is the Digital in 5 show. This is the show where I take 5 minutes to talk about digital tools and trends that are happening around the world and apply it into our ministry context. And today we're going to talk about digital missionaries. Now, if you don't know what a digital missionary is, I'm going to include a lot of content in the show notes, so you want to click on that. But simply put, Christ calls us to go and tell the world, Matthew 28:19 and 20. Go tell all the world about Jesus and about him and his life and about the good news that comes with salvation through Christ. And the reality is, for the longest time, we've had to always go to people, physically go to places and share that good news with them. But now with technology, we don't have to go places. We can just use our smartphones or smart devices or computers and share that content with people and share the love of Jesus with people on a daily basis. You could be in Virginia and share it all the way into Ethiopia. You could be in Africa and share it in Asia. You can be anywhere in the world and share the love of Jesus with people through digital technology. So we're going to talk about just the 5 different types that you can have, because a lot of times I think when you talk about digital missionary, it gets lumped into just one position. But there's not just one position, there's 5. So let's break them down right now. The first one is called a content creator. This is a person who likes to create content. Like, they like to write blog posts, or they like to do videos, or they like to do podcasts. They like to take photographs. This is a person who likes to take content and share it with people online or on social media and share the love of Jesus through that. They could write a blog post about how their faith has changed their life. They can do a podcast where they interview a ministry leader and talk about faith issues. They can do a video where they talk about just their testimony or their story about how Jesus came to know them. They could share photographs about the beauty of God's creation. There's so many different ways that you can use content to share about the love of Jesus and be that digital missionary. But that's just one way. The second one is a digital champion. This person is someone who maybe not great about sharing their own content to other people on social media and online platforms, but takes the content that your church shares or your ministry shares and shares it on their personal social media platform or on Facebook groups or in different places where they're connected. This is someone who's taking, again, the church's content and sharing on their personal one. It's called a digital champion. They're champion what Christ is doing through their church or through their ministry. So that's the digital champion, someone who shares content that's not their own, but from a church or ministry. The third one is a responder. Now, this is someone who loves social media, but maybe doesn't want to share their content or share the church's content as much, but they're really active on social media. This is a person who might be the ideal person to check out what your church posts or your ministry posts on social media and responds to comments. They're a personal face. See, I believe that people respond on social media more to people than the businesses or brands or to churches. So people are more likely to respond to someone if it is an actual person and not some spam bot or a brand or a church. So a responder simply goes on and sees what's posted from the church. And then if someone responds to that post, and it could be by asking for prayer or sharing a heartbreaking story or just responding in general to it, that person then responds to the person who replied to the comment. And so you're continuing a conversation. And the beauty of this responder is that person now has an opportunity to follow up with the person and share with the person. They can take that conversation that's happening on social media and go into a private message and further minister to that person. They're being a digital missionary by responding to someone who could really use some help or some encouragement. So the responder is the third thing you can do. The fourth one is similar to a responder, but this one is where you're branching out to all of social media here, and you're not just tying yourself to the church or the brand, but this person is called the prayer warrior. We all need prayer warriors. Prayer is so important to our church and to the ministries and to our personal lives. Well, on social media, you may have noticed that people sometimes share heartbreaking stories or share prayer requests. And so a prayer warrior is someone who does 2 things. One is looks for those opportunities where people are sharing heartbreaking stories or prayer requests, and then responds to them by saying, I'm going to pray for you, and prays for that person right now. And then what they can do is then private message them a little bit later and say, how did that go? How can I help you? Is there anything else I can do to support you? So that's the one way that they can be praying. But the second thing is that they can get on their personal page, whatever social account that they love, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. They can get on there and just simply ask the question, how can I pray for you today? Anytime I've ever asked that question, people have always responded, maybe not underneath the comment section, but they've private messaged me with private specific prayer requests. And a prayer warrior will then take those prayer requests, pray for them, and then again have an opportunity to follow up with them and share more about Jesus with them. So prayer warrior is another opportunity for someone to be a digital missionary. And finally, number 5 is the chat host. If you're live streaming your church services, you don't want to just live stream them. You want to have a chat room where people can chat and engage with people and have conversations while the church service is actually happening. I love this part of online church because if you're just simply live streaming, people are just watching it and they're merely spectators of what's happening. But when you have a chat room, they get to be actively participating in the service. You get to engage with them, get to know who they are and what they're doing. And in order for you to be successful in that, you can have a chat host to do that. You can have, I would encourage you to have 2 chat hosts per service to help with accountability and whatnot. But you have those chat hosts engaging with people, ask them questions, and getting to know them. I will say this. I chat host regularly at my personal church, and I feel like I've met people online in the chat room that I've never met in person, but I actually know them because of our daily or weekly interactions in the chat room. So I want to encourage you to think about using chat hosts as digital missionaries for your church or your ministry. All right, heroes. So those are 5 ideas. Again, I just said 5. They're not the only ideas. I bet you have other ideas as well. So if you've got ideas on how you can be a digital missionary, put it in the comment section below, or you can even email me at tom@ymsidekick.com, or get on Twitter right now. My Twitter handle is @TAPounder, and you can share with me other ways that people are being digital missionaries today. Again, being a digital missionary is such an important opportunity for us right now in this day and age. And I want to encourage you to think outside the box of how people can serve others and minister to them each and every day throughout the week. So that's how you can be a digital missionary today. All right, heroes, well, as always, if you enjoyed this episode on YouTube or video, or if you enjoyed it on iTunes or Spotify, definitely subscribe to it. I would really love you to check that out. And also check out my website, ymsidekick.com. There I've got all my content and the information about the Digital Bootcamp, the free Facebook group where ministers come to learn digital tools and tips every single day. I hope you can join us there. All right, heroes, well, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great one.